Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Worst Reviews Ever with Sophisticated Jerk and Amazing today. We just gonna be us two to knock this one out. So the movie we're gonna review today is Old Guard 2. So let me go ahead and pull up the slides on this one so we can jump into it. So The Old Guard Part 2 is a 2025 American superhero film directed by Victoria Mahoney from a screenplay by Greg Rucka and Sarah L. Walker based on the comic book The Old Guard. So the plot on this movie, Andy leads immortal warriors against a powerful enemy threatening their group. They grapple with the resurfacing of a long-lost immortal, complicating their mission to safeguard humanity. So directors and producers, directed by Victoria Mahoney, produced by David Ellison, Dana Goldberg, Don Granger, Charlize Theron, Beth Kono, AJ Dix, and Mark Evans. Dang, they got a shitload of producers on that one. So the cast on the movie is Charlize Theron as Andy, Kiki Lane as Niall Freeman, Marwan as Joe, Yusuf. I ain't butchering no last names. If I can look a little long, I'm leaving it alone. Luca Marinelli as Nikki, Matthias as Booker, Veronica Nago as Quinn. Is that what her name in the movie?
I actually was waiting for you to say it because I didn't know.
So yeah, we just gonna go with Quinn, but I ain't no help. Y'all just let me just butcher everything. Chiwetel Ejiofor as James Copley and Uma Thurman as Discord. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the trailer real quick and then we'll jump into the rating.
How are you doing?
I'm at peace.
Didn't look that peaceful when you were throwing that guy out the window.
Listen, sometimes quick is better than subtle.
For centuries, I've watched you fight to protect humanity while forsaking your own kind. I will destroy you and everything you stand for with a power you can't even imagine yet.
Who is she?
She is the first of the immortals. She knows your histories, your relationships. I am scared of what she is capable of.
Booker, how do I find her? You and your friends don't have much time left.
Do you think she knows that I've lost my immortality?
The thing that lives forever.
We're playing right into her hands.
I don't have a choice.
One day you'll understand. Every minute is a step towards death.
Then you're coming with me.
All right, I'll go ahead and end that. All right, let me put up the rating scale. So, all right, amazing. I'm going to toss it to you first with your rating.
I'll give it a 6.5.
All right, a 6.5. I'm going to give it a 7.1. So let me go ahead and pull up the questions and I'll go ahead. I'll start first since I had the 7.1. So to give this grill, because I forgot to give I'm in a very good and amazing's in good territory. But back to the question. So what is your rating, or why did I give it that rating? So I gave it a 7.1. Overall, I like the action in the movie. I did like the plot. I think going from the first original one, I think it started out very good. I think the second one kind of slowed up a little bit. I think towards the end of the movie, I think it got a little I'll say sloppy as far as the plot, because I think the one Discord, that fight scene, I thought that was just subpar, because Charlize Theron character just kind of got her ass whooped. I thought it was gonna be more of a better fight, and she kind of just gave her that work and stuff. And then, of course, it cut to like there's gonna be a continuation. So I mean, like I said, I like the plot, but I think sometimes when they want to do the 3 parts, I think on the second one they end up making them duller, and then kind of rush to get to the next section. So I kind of felt like they did that with this movie, where it was just some bits and pieces and stuff. So I think they could have tightened it up more, had a better fighting scene or something like that. Because it was just, like I said, it was very lazy. So the scenes and the performances that stuck out, definitely the first scene. I think all the action on that with the whole team all together, and they got the boat, they stealing cars and jumping through the house and stuff. Because in the trailer where the one girl was like jump through the window, that was a very like tough fighting sequence. So that's what I'm saying. If you compare that fighting sequence to the very last one, where you got the 2 like longest living immortals, what's her name? Just kind of Discord beat her out like it was, she was like child's play or something like that, and then just got in a helicopter and took off. I'm like, man, what the hell? Can you like blow up one of the helicopters or something? Like, we're making difficult, because she just got off the helicopter. Like, let me give her this work real quick, and then let me get back on here and go to my lair and shit, so I can become an immortal again. So yeah, I was like, damn, like they might as well just let her kill her and just wrap this shit up. I think in like 15 minutes, she could have just like took her life and be like, you know what, man, let me just end all this. That's what it felt like to me with that last scene. I would say though, all the actors and actresses, I think they did a good job in the movie and stuff like that. Definitely the sequencing I did like I said, it was just like the very last scenes that I was like, damn, I wish they would have done that better. Another scene that I did like was the one where the one guy gave up his immortality to her and he ended up dying. That was a touching scene, because they've just been with each other so long, and the fact that she lost other people, she took that one kind of hard, because he kind of sacrificed himself for her and stuff. And I think he was just ready to check out of being immortal after like losing his family and stuff. Because that's one thing, like just thinking about being immortal, you got to watch everybody just keep on dying, and eventually you just probably got to be detached from like getting too close to anybody that's not an immortal, because it's just like, hey man, you're just gonna watch them die every like 80 to 100 years if they live that long and stuff, and it's just a repeating cycle, especially like if you have kids and stuff. So I think he was just like, man, I don't want to see this play out anymore. I'm good. So I think that was definitely a touching scene. If I were the director and producer of this movie, what would I change or do differently? Like I said, I would have made the last fighting scene just a little better, as far as like more of a match. Because like I said, the build up to all that, you're like, damn, it's about to go down. Then all of a sudden she just cut like her legs, and she's just sitting there watching her. She got on that plane like, man, child's play. Peace, punks. And she just like got rolled out of there, and it was like, oh, we'll get them. We're gonna get together next time with her friend. I'm like, shit, now you bout it. You wasn't nothing when you was in that fight scene. So yeah, I would have like made it more of a match, and then something happened, and she got up out of there. But definitely can't wait to see the follow one. Would I recommend this to anybody? Yeah, absolutely. I think definitely a good movie still. But you just got to make sure you watch the first part first, because it kind of ties into the second, and then we're gonna ruin it for you guys, but there's definitely gonna be a third movie. So toss it over to you, Amazing.
So I gave it a really, because I felt like the first movie honestly was so much better than the second movie. I thought the second was good, but I did think the first one just kind of was much better in my opinion.
Yeah.
I also thought the plot and storyline, I liked the way two went like literally from the very first moment went straight into like it just was kind of like reading a book where there's like no pause. It just goes from one, if you watch one, two, you know, like opens right up from where one ended. And I like the way they did that. I agree with the first scene. I think they made that first action scene that was so well choreographed that the other scenes just didn't live up to it. So that they kind of shot themselves in the foot with making that one so good right at the very beginning.
That's a good point.
Did you get me with Andy? I think I really liked Andy's performance. So Charlize, I think she does an excellent job. I also think going back to just too much stuff going on in this specific movie, I felt like between Uma's character, Andy and Quinn's kind of reunion / feud, you know, like working that whole thing out. And then you still have the sideline of Niall being a new immortal person. It was just like so much clutter, I felt like. What would I do differently? Some of the things I liked were the time hopping events. So when they would do flashbacks into the past, I would have done more of those. I think that it would have been better with more of those scenes, just so you can kind of get just even more of the buildup and kind of how the characters come together and how they, you know, met and different things like that. And would I recommend the movie? Yes, I would.
All right. Yeah, I think I do like the idea of concept of more flashbacks, especially with Discord. Well, they probably do that in the third one, where it's like how she become the first one, and you know, like why, you know, they were given this power. So that's probably what they're going to be the build up.
Also, I
go ahead.
also agree. I didn't like the way they ended it. Like to your point, like even if they didn't end it that way, it was just kind of like a dud ending. Which again, it maybe when they do the new one, the third one, it'll move right into it again. But they definitely could have ended that much better.
Yeah, it was just like you said. I like what you mentioned about that first scene, because it was like, you know, that first scene was tough, but then, you know, that one right there, like, of course they can't kill each other, but it could have been more of a fight. That's all I was saying. I'm like, damn, that was kind of too easy. Like, because it's almost like it seemed like she could have just like killed her off because she had the upper hand. She had 2 helicopters instead of letting it linger. I know, you know, in movies they do that, but just how cold-blooded she was, it was like, that's what I'm saying. If it would have been more of a fight and say like she blew up one of the helicopters and then she had to get up out of there, like, shit, let me get out of here, you know, that would have made more sense. But the way she just like beat her down, still had her helicopter, she was like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and roll out. I was like, damn, that was kind of cheesy. But all right, let's go jump into the rating again. So, Mason, you gonna stay at the same position, or are you gonna go up or down? You're gonna change it. All right, you're gonna stay at 6.5. I'm gonna stay at 7.1. So I still thought it was a very good movie, and then you still had it as a good movie. And it kind of makes sense for the second parts. I always like they drop a little bit because, like I said, that's the movie that got to connect. So I think on that third one, it's definitely gonna be tough because that's probably gonna be the one that closes everything out. So, all right, y'all, keep tuning in, and we'll keep breaking these movies down, reviewing them. Peace.